Hello and welcome back to Joellen's Kitchen. Yes, I missed my first week of the month like I usually do. It was an election month for me and I did survive a primary election, so I'll be on to the general. So thank you for your patience till I got to my Pennsylvania Dutch cooking this month. But today we're going to make some rebaked potatoes, so to speak, Pennsylvania Dutch style. It's a little different than most of the recipes that I've ever seen, but on the other hand, it looks simple. First, of course, you need however many potatoes you need for your family. I'm getting 2 ready. And we're going to update this recipe a little bit in that I'm going to just microwave them so we can keep going. But first, to microwave them, you have to poke them a little bit so that they don't explode, I suppose. So I just put a few pokes on either side where I'm going to be cutting it lengthwise after they're baked. Now, a baked potato in the microwave on a rotating dish usually takes about 5 minutes. With 2 big baked potatoes like this, it's probably going to take 8 to 10 minutes. But in the oven, a good hour. So if you want to do it the old-fashioned way and bake them in the oven, that's fine, an hour. And I also will probably start up my cook stove. In fact, I'll do that while you're watching now to preheat it a little. So this old gas stove I've had for quite a few years, and it's a matter of turning on the gas and lighting it up and making sure the flames are adjusted. You don't want to see a yellow flame, that's wasting fuel. A little bit of a blue flame is all that's needed. They want it 90 degrees by the end of the week, so I thought today's the day I'm turning on the oven. And again, I'm going to put these into the microwave, bake for 5 minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, my potatoes are now steaming hot, and you want to, I know it's hot, but just see if you can squeeze them a little bit, that it gives under your fingers, then you know they're done. Next, we want to put the potato on the end. I have a silicone mat underneath, so make sure you have a cutting board of some sort, and slice them in half horizontally, I guess, but I stood it up vertically and let them fall apart. So these 2 big potatoes are going to give me really 4 servings. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. And then you want a bowl to put your potatoes in to mash them. And may just slide these off to the side and hold it with a mat. My fingers can't take all that heat. And you want to scoop some potatoes out of there, out of the shell. Just like this. Okay. I'm going to lay my one shell there and do my second one. I know it's hard to see, but I'm just scooping it out with a regular old tablespoon. And you can see we have a hollowed out baked potato. 2 more. By the way, for your information, I had these in the microwave for 9 minutes because they were 2 large ones. I did flip it over about halfway through to make sure it was done all the way around. Okay, 1 more hollowed out potato skin. And now what we need is a baking pan, perhaps a pie plate. A pie plate or something of that nature will do. Hold on. Okay, 1 pie plate. And if you watched any of my videos before, you know I like to spray it with Pam, which makes cleanup so much easier if something cooks fast. All right, I'm going to set that aside. And I have a handmade wooden spoon. That came from the Schaefferstown Museum. And I'm going to chop up my potatoes, sort of mash them a little bit, but make sure that they're very fine. If you have a potato masher, that's good too. Now, how many of you mash your own potatoes, or do you buy those at the store? Maybe I should show you what an old-fashioned potato masher looks like. I have one from my grandpa. Hold on. Okay, this potato masher came from the farm. Can you see? It goes back and forth. It has twisted wire going into a big old wooden handle. So, if you have a contraption like this, you can mash them just so. That's great. So we have smashed potatoes right now. And the thing that I found different about this recipe is that you take 1 egg yolk and pull it away from the white. You put the white into a bowl, or I'm going to use my NutriBullet, and then you whip it. Now, you don't want to whip it till the peaks are dry, but you do want them to be able to stand on their own. So here we are, separating the yolk from the white part of the egg. And it comes out of there pretty much on its own. And I have to wiggle it a little bit to help encourage the last pieces to come down. Okay, that ought to do it. And then you can use the yolk in making hamburgers or something of that nature. Don't let it go to waste. There's lots of nutrients there. Some people just eat them so. So I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to put the bottom onto my NutriBullet. I'm going to go whip this egg white a little bit. Okay, that took about 3 to 3.5 minutes to get it so it's thick. It's actually up on the sides now. We're going to put in 2 tablespoons of butter. And you're going to salt and pepper to taste. It's about 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. If you guys don't like salt and pepper, you can wait and add it afterwards, but it's always good to me to put some in the recipe. And then we're going to get our egg whites out of here. And then we're simply going to fold them into the mashed potatoes. Make sure I got everything out of here. There we go. And to fold, I'm going to switch from the potato masher to the wooden spoon. Like I said, it's not a lot of ingredients. It really isn't. Well, we're just going to fold this together. A lot of people might think this contains sour cream. The newer versions of this do. The Pennsylvania Dutch version simply has egg whites with salt and pepper. And oh yes, we also want to put in 2 to 4 tablespoons of milk. I have my PA preferred. I do use that, you know that. Try to be loyal to our Pennsylvania farmers who still have their cattle. Okay, I like mine pretty fluffy. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should do it. And again, with the milk, the salt, the pepper, and the blended egg white, the beaten egg white, we're making the mashed potatoes the old Pennsylvania Dutch way. Okay, now it's simply a matter of scooping everything back into the potato shells. There's 1. And 2. 3. And number 4. Now, the other thing you can do, it does call for cheddar cheese or some sort of your favorite cheese on top if you so desire. If not, you can bake it just as the rebaked potato. So I'm going to make 2 with cheddar and 2 without, and then that way my husband can have a choice. There we go. All right, and as you know, I started up my oven so it would preheat, because all we're doing is baking the top. I don't want to have to wait long for that. I am going to Memorial Day service over at Fort Indian Town Gap today too, to support our fallen heroes. We'll be back with the final product in just a few minutes. Thanks for your patience. Okay, our rebaked potatoes are ready to eat. I'm going to set them on the hot plate. And the whole thing is to make them hot again so you can eat and enjoy the hot baked potato. And I'm going to take one of the ones with the cheddar cheese because I happen to like cheddar cheese. And just because you didn't put sour cream inside doesn't mean you can't put sour cream on top. Now, sometimes I actually get baked potatoes at Wendy's, and if they give me 2 sour creams, I'll keep one for later, and so I'm going to use this up. Okay, let's see how they got. You can't go wrong with a baked potato. They're so good. I hope you try the recipe and enjoy them.